Good evening, everyone. I just want to welcome everyone. We seem to have a big group tonight, and it's exciting to see everyone. It feels like it's forever since we've been here. So welcome to the July of 2024 Psychic Hour. Folks, there's so much going on in everyone's life, in the world, and I think we're going to have a very, very interesting Psychic Hour tonight. So once again, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And it warms my heart. It is really, really, really good to see everyone. I had a wonderful month off. That was my birthday month of June that I love to take off and give myself and Lisa a little bit of a break. And we've been back now. It's nearly a month. The psychic hour is always towards the end of the month. And so you folks have been really waiting a long time for this evening. I'm aware of that. I'm going to do my best to spend a lot of really valuable time with those of you who get picked for readings. And on that note, let me just give you a little reminder of how this works. First off, you'll know that, of course, I'm not going to have a chance to do everybody who's here in person online tonight. However, I have adopted my own pattern where if you don't receive a reading from me and my guides online this evening with me, as long as you stay until the end of the hour, you can send me a simple question, just as if we're getting this reading here, via email, either to the address here on the GoToMeeting site or to Lisa SA Inc. at AOL, which is the address that's on my website. And of course, that's my assistant, Lisa, who will forward me your question. Now, if you forward me the question, or if you are going to get called on this evening, you need to supply me with the same information. So just a reminder, to get called on here, you're going to raise your hand so that Lisa, who monitors this for me, knows that you want to talk to me and ask a question. And when you come on, I'm going to want to know your first name only, because this will be published publicly, so you don't want to give your last name out. So I want your first name only, where you're calling from, that's always fun to know, what you're most grateful for in your life right now, and what your sun sign is. That's so important, because armed with your sun sign and this chart that you see here on the screen, which is a horary chart I cast just for this hour. So this is a throwaway chart. It's good for everyone who's here tonight. At the end of the hour, we throw it away, okay? But this is going to tell me about all of you. So whoever asks the question, your answer is going to be here. Now, the last thing I want from you is your specific question. And by the time we get to that, I may have already even answered it. My guides are really kind of right on. Now, once again, whether you're sending me your question via email or whether you're asking it here online, first name, where you're calling from, what you're most grateful for, your sun sign, and then your specific question. So there are 5 bits of information there, okay? And of course, those of you who've been with me for a while, and I do recognize a lot of names here, you know that you should listen to all the questions that are asked online tonight, because my guides have a way of answering one person's question and everybody else's at the same time. So you may receive the answer to the question you're looking for, even though you didn't get a chance to ask it of me specifically. Now, let me do a little bit of housekeeping before we get started with our questions, and that'll give Lisa a chance, she's in the chat room right now, to address any questions you have on how this works. And if you look up here at the PowerPoint that you see in front of you on your screen, I'm starting in the upper right-hand corner. There's my website, sandyanastasi.com. Folks, I know you went there to sign up for the Psychic Hour tonight, and you may want to go back to sign up for next month's Psychic Hour that you can see here from the chart or from the screen is going to be on not August 25th, 2024. Well, yes, it is. It's August 25th, 2024. That's our next Psychic Hour. You might want to make a note of that. And when you go to the website, you're going to want to sign up for that and all of the others to the end of the year. Anything that's written there, sign up for. You can do them all at the same time, and you'll then you'll get links to them as they come up. And while you're on the website, go ahead and search it a little bit, because I've got a wonderful VIP community that's got great classes on downloadable audios that you might want to, study. I've got a lot of self-study classes right on the front of my site that are on video. I am in the process right now of teaching a Kabbalah pathworking class that is mind-blowing. More about that later. So the website is very comprehensive. And if you are somebody who wants to learn how to do some of these things you see me here doing online every month, you might want to check the website out while you're on it. But definitely go there to sign up for the future psychic hours. Now, you'll also see the second little box here, download my app. Please do that. Computers are doing really weird and strange things these days. I'm sure we're going to get it straightened out at some point in time. But until we do, I think everybody's a lot more comfortable having an app on their phone or their tablet or even on their computer, because the apps seem to not get hacked as easily as the websites and the computers themselves do. So make sure you have that downloaded app. You can access everything on my site, including this psychic hour, on the app. It's fully interactive. I also have connected to, as soon as you signed up on my website to sign up for this psychic hour or to sign up for the newsletter, you automatically got an invitation to our open community. And folks, if you, like so many of my clients and my students, you may be living in an outlying area where there aren't a whole lot of people who think like you or that you can talk to about your belief systems or your psychic intuitions. If you're one of those people, please join that open community. We don't judge, and you can post anything there, and you can get feedback on whether it's your visions or your dreams, or maybe you're studying something you want to share, or you've had a revelation of some kind. There's always somebody there who's going to engage you in conversation. Me and Lisa are in the community all the time. We get to read everything you post. We do respond, and so do the other people who use the forum. So don't be a stranger. Join that. You're going to love it. It's for you. It's something special. That's my gift to you. I also, if you remember, some of you were on my What's Happening in 2024 webinar with me last year. Yes, it's almost a year. I do that in November or December of each year. I think this year's it's going to be in late November. Right now, last year's, which we are still listening to because the predictions are still going on, and they will right up until the end of the year. Last year's is on sale. It's discounted down to $10. If you want to purchase it, watch it, listen to it, it'll set your mind at ease. The world is not in as bad a situation as you might be fearing it is. There is a future out there for all of us, and the What's Coming in 2024 webinar gives you the lowdown on that. I do give predictions for each sign as well. So that's definitely worth listening to. If you haven't got it, right now it's only $10. I don't know if my webmaster has been able to discount it on the site yet. If it's not discounted to $10, then contact Lisa and she'll invoice you for $10. Easy solution. If you're in my VIP membership, folks, please remember our next coaching call is October 17th. Make a note of that. And folks, if you don't know what the VIP membership is, you can read all about it on my website. And again, if you're interested in anything, studying anything in the field of metaphysics, there's an entire college education in that VIP membership and a lot of other perks too. So do take a look at it. Okay, but for members, our next meeting, our next coaching call, October 17th. And again, I already said our next psychic hour, make a note, August 25th. Of 2024. Now, the last thing I want to talk about are my monthly specials. I'm going to talk about the July specials because we're the 28th of July already, but for 2 days you can still get these and they're worthwhile. First, folks, my What's Coming in the next 3 months targeted reading, you'll see that on my website under my readings. That tab, it's only $250 this month. My normal price for a reading is $300, so you're saving $50 if you schedule that reading anytime this month. You need to actually get the reading before the end of the year. I still have spaces available, so you'll be able to get in there, but at the end of this month, that discount goes away. And it's unlikely that I'm going to be running that again before the end of the year at least. So if you want to be able to get if you know you want a reading with me in person on the phone, on our private reading with me, a full half-hour reading, purchase it now. Okay, purchase it now, and we can arrange payments, or you can use we use PayPal. You can use your credit card through the PayPal, or you can use PayPal credit and get your payoff over time. So there are ways that you can make that even more affordable, but that discount of $50 is a good one. Now, and remember, 2 more days of that, and then it goes away until next year sometime. Okay, Kabbalah Pathworking, the class I'm teaching live online right now. It meets Wednesday nights. It just started, and it is not too late. You have a little bit of catch up to do, but it's not beyond you. It's doable right now. And if you do register, it will run right up through the middle of December. It is totally transformative. If you want to know more about it, you can read a whole lot about it on my website. You can read testimonials. You can talk to some of the people here online. I recognize who were in the class. And if you're looking for something that's going to get you back on track, that's going to help to lift your energy, to lift your vibration itself, to get you to a higher level spiritually, as well as opening your intuitive faculties and giving you a much more peace of mind and a much better ability to look into your own future and that of the world as well. If you're looking at all of those things, you want to have peace in your family and peace in your own immediate world situation, you really do need to think about registering for that class and catching up. When I say it's transformative and life-changing, that's putting it mildly. This is a must if you're on a spiritual journey in this life. In my next month's specials, August specials, I'm offering a coaching special for only $300. You can find out more about this on my website, but I want to introduce you to what it's like to get coaching with Sandy and her guides. Because when you get coaching with me, you're getting coaching, life coaching, soul coaching with somebody who is a psychic, an astrologer, an intuitive, and whose guides are also astrologers and intuitives. So you're getting coaching on a level that is almost impossible to achieve anywhere else. Because you see, my guides know where you're supposed to be going in life. So there is no problem that you have on your plate right now that they aren't going to be able to help you with and show you not just one solution, but multiple solutions. So the choice of how you want your life to be is always yours. Your own personal guides will help to move you in the right direction. And me and my guides can show you how to get on track to do that. So if you want to see what getting coaching with Sandy Anastasi is like, and getting a look into the future that you can control and you can organize and you can create for yourself, this is a great opportunity to test that out. Also, I'm offering my beginner's tarot class. Now that's a self-study course, and it's going to be offered during August for 20% off. That gives you $59.40 off of the normal $297. So you're getting a really good discount on that class. Why am I offering it? Because you can learn to read the tarot and do tarot readings and get paid very, very quickly. It's probably the quickest way to develop your psychic skills and abilities if you want to be a pro in the field and add extra income to your family, which right now I know everybody is looking for. Now, let me just tell you, not only do you get paid, but you get paid for helping somebody, because nobody becomes a tarot reader if your primary desire isn't to help the people that you love and care for, and also those people who would come to you for readings who might even be strangers or colleagues from wherever it is you're presently working. So it's a great way to bring in extra money and help people at the same time. And this class is the best way to learn the basics of tarot reading. And again, if you want to know more about it, on my website, I've got a lot of testimonials. You can read more about it and you can get involved with that. all month long. It's on sale for $2.97. And also my third special at the end of August, I'm going to close the Kabbalah Pathworking. It will no longer be available. And frankly, even up through the middle of August, once we get to the middle of August, it's going to be very hard to catch up if you haven't already done the Kabbalah Pathworking at least once. So I'm going to suggest that, if you're interested in Kabbalah Pathworking, get off the fence, register, do it now. Right now in our world, we need something that really gives us something to hold on to so that we can keep our vibration positive, elevated, happy, joyful, and help to lift the whole world upwards along with us. And that's really what Kabbalah Pathworking is all about. It literally changes who you are to the root, changes your energetic vibratory level. It gives you more control over your world so that you begin to create the world you want to live in, not constantly reacting to the world around you. So you reverse the effect on the world is what you do. And it's kind of a nice thing to do. More about that when you go onto my website and do a little bit of research on it on your own. Okay, I want to jump into our readings. No more commentary from me. Thank you for listening. And Lisa, who is our first person that I'm going to be working with this evening?
Alrighty, our first person tonight is going to be Irina. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Irina, can you unmute?
Oh, hi, can you hear me?
I can, and that is such a beautiful name. Can you pronounce it for us so we get it right?
Irina?
Irina. Oh, it's beautiful. That I knew it was going to be something like that. It's just beautiful. And Irina, what nationality are you? Do you mind my asking?
Russian.
Russian, okay. Because it seems to, that name has a root. In the United States, we would say Irene, but I've heard people say Irania, or as you said, Irina. I've heard it with so many different ways of pronouncing it. So that's why I asked where your nationality is, because each it seems like every nation in the world has its own version of Irene, but no two pronounce it the same way. That's beautiful. I love that pronunciation. It's great.
Thank you, Sadie, very much.
Very, very nice. So let me ask you, are you actually calling from Russia, or where are you right now?
No. I'm right now in Oceanside, San Diego area in US.
Very, very nice. That's beautiful up there. Very, very nice.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and especially this time of year. Now, what are you most grateful for right now?
That's what I'm grateful for being back to sunny San Diego.
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, well that's a bunch of nice stuff. And what's your sun sign?
It's a Capricorn, but my question will be about my daughter. I don't know if you need her.
Well, no, hang on. Let's hold off on your question first. Let's look at you. You're a Capricorn. We can find your daughter afterwards. That's okay. But Capricorn is a cardinal sign. So folks, if you are also a Capricorn, or if you're a Cancer or an Aries or a Libra, those are all the 4 cardinal signs. What I'm about to say is going to be pertinent to you. Okay. In our horary chart, Capricorn is this is, I don't know if you can see my cursor, this white arrow up here.
Yes,
Capricorn is on the 12th house cusp of the chart, and we see it 20 degrees. So the first 20 degrees of the sign is actually in the 11th house, and the second 10 degrees, there are 30 degrees in a sign, are in the 12th house. Now let's talk about the 12th house first, because that's really affecting those cardinal signs powerfully. You guys, you included, Irina, you're all doing this really major internalizing right now. You're looking at things that are bubbling up from your subconscious from a new point of view, a way that you've never looked at them before. It's like things from your distant past even are coming up and you're saying, I remember, but I never thought about it from that way. So it's almost like you're getting a a new perspective on things that happened to you earlier in life, or in your case, maybe you and your daughter, or other things in life, and things are coming up, but you're not reacting to them the way you did way back when, because you're seeing them from a whole different perspective. And that's happening for all of the cardinal signs. If you're a Capricorn, a Cancer, a Libra, or an Aries, or if you're ascendant or your moon is in one of those signs, you will also be experiencing that. Now, the other thing that's going on is, since the first 20 degrees are over here in the 11th house, this 11th house is about friends. If you have multiple children, that could be about your third child. And it is also about the way that, get this, you give your love. So all of you cardinal signs are reflecting about, because the reflecting is the 12th house, you're reflecting about the way you reach out and share yourself with other people. So you might be looking at, maybe I have to set some boundaries, maybe I have to set some limits. Maybe this person that I was trying to cultivate, I shouldn't be, because nothing comes back from them. Maybe this other person that I have not realized was so important has really been a foundation in my life and has given me a lot that I've never even recognized. I'm giving maybe to the wrong people in my life, or maybe I'm giving too much or too little of myself. And maybe I should be paying attention to those friends and those groups around me who have been very supportive. And you guys are all going through transitions in the friends and the groups around you. And a lot of you are finding your belief systems changing along the way because of this internal searching you're doing. Now, I'm not done yet. We also have the nodes, look at this, moving through Libra cardinal sign and Aries cardinal sign. And that's in the 2nd and the 8th houses. So for a lot of you, old financial issues, this is the South Node in a financial house. Old financial issues are coming back. And, if you really sit and think about them, there's nothing new here. They may be frightening, they may be concerning, they may be you're feeling responsible for taking care of somebody else financially, or perhaps that other person expecting that you will. And guess what? It might feel irritating. It might feel like it's new because it's a new situation. But when you really look at it, it is the SOS. You know what that means? The same old, let's say
Yes.
that word. Okay. And because this is important, because it's the same old stuff,
Mhm.
see that? Surprised you stuff. You know how to deal with it because you already worked your way through it in the past. You worked your way through it. You drew some conclusions. It was a problem, yes, but you know how to work through it. Now, at the same time, there are some really good partnerships that are coming your way and that have been around you, some of them for a while. So you've got some friends who are offering their perspective, and it's of value. It's like, wow, I never thought about that. I could, I did think about doing that before. I could do it now. There's partnership opportunities, people willing to help and offer help. And in the past, maybe you said no, 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 no. And now you're re-looking at it and saying, maybe I was too hasty. Maybe I should be saying yes to some of those things. So there's this change in perspective going on. Now, the North Node's over here in the 2nd house, and it's very close to Neptune. The 2nd house is your earning ability. It's your ability to make money. It's your ability to have your own business. So guess what? Opportunities are coming your way to bring money in from sources that you can create yourself. And maybe you're a little bit insecure or uncertain about them because they're, nobody's standing there saying this is a guarantee. You have to kind of take a chance. You have to step into something which is new, and maybe you're just not sure about it. But if your gut says yes, do it. You're going to have to start trusting your own intuition. If your intuition says strongly, you can do this, then give yourself credit and say, yes, I can do it. Now, here's what's also going on, and this comes into your daughter, Irina. We have a grand cross in the cardinal signs. This is the crossing T between the Libra and Aries planets. And here's the rest of the T that comes from the 11th house of Capricorn down into the 5th house, which is children. There's your issues with children. So all of you cardinal sign people are finding you're needing to put a lot of energy into your kids right now. And that could be, even if you don't have kids, we all have the children of our dreams. We've created something, we've built something. Maybe it's a business, maybe it's something we're working on or trying to create artistically. Whatever it is, it's something which requires right now a new approach, something different. The old patterns, the old methods aren't working, but you know what will work. And you just have to get out of your own way and do it. It's time. This is also, if any of you are single out there, you cardinal people, this also happens to be the house of romance. And that could bring a romance into your life right now if you are looking. So Irena, how am I doing?
Well, yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, yeah.
Now, what's your specific question for your daughter?
My daughter just graduated from the pharmacy school, and she needs to take 2 exams to become a licensed pharmacist. And she found out last week that she failed the first one she took. She's very nervous about upcoming tests, so I'm just wondering if you can check with your guides if she will pass both of them before this October.
Okay, let's see if we can't find her in the chart. Now, this is your chart, so we've got to find her in your chart. So we're going to start up here in the 11th house, because that would be your first house. And is she your first child, second child? What's her order in birth?
She's my second child.
Okay, so we're going to count to the first child. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This house would be your first child. Your second child is going to be 3. That's the sister. That's 1, 2, 3. So here she is. She is the 5th house, and that is where all your energy is going right now. And Gemini is like the twins. It's associated with the number 2, right? And we have a Gemini on the cusp here. First of all, she's going to have to really do a whole bunch of studying.
Yes,
I think what happened to her on the test is that, I know this sounds strange, but she was studying what you would expect to study. Okay, she was studying what they told her to study. And what she got hit with on the test were a whole bunch of unrelated things that she never studied. Okay.
Yes, probably, usually, yeah.
You know, and well, how do I know that? Because that's what Gemini does. It's like, look over here. Oh, here we go, over here. Okay. And that's what happened to her. So please let her know this had nothing to do with her being stupid at all. It had to do with there being a lot of trick questions on the test. So she's looking at, okay, Mom, what do I study to be able to make it through this test? Okay. And the answer to that is that she's going to have to, if she has a way of looking at past tests, she can look back at those past tests and look at some of those trick questions, okay? She can also go, if she has a good relationship with the professors there that she's been studying with, she can go to one of the professors and explain what happened with this and say, what would you suggest I study to be ready for these weird questions they're going to ask that aren't relative to the study material? See, she's been studying according to the rules, and they're not obeying the rules. They're giving trick questions. Okay. Apparently, they're looking for tiebreakers, and they only want a limited number of people going into school, et cetera, which is pretty dumb because right now colleges are all hurting for students. Now, what my guys are saying, will she pass the test the second time around? And they're saying not unless she, number 1, gets a handle on what is the additional material she's got to study. And she does, I'm hearing very loudly, she has to beef up on the technical stuff. So they might be asking questions that are literally out of chemistry. You might have to go back and crack her chemistry books. And we're getting some feedback on the mic. So hang up your mic just for a moment here so that we don't get that feedback. So the thing is, though, that she's got the trick questions are very technical. They're wanting to know what proportion of this and this gets mixed to make this compound. They're asking questions that pharmacists don't actually have to do these days, but she has to know that information to pass the test. So she's going to have to really beef up on the technical side of the pharmaceutical information. And the other thing, and this is the hard one, she isn't a test taker. She tends to get very insecure and freeze up on tests. And especially after having not made it through the first one the way she thought she would sail through it, now she's really worried and upset. It would be a good idea for her to maybe get a brainwave tape, something which a hemisync tape, where she can put her mind into a meditative state before she goes to sleep the night before. She needs to do something which is going to calm her nerves, is what I'm saying, okay? So that she can actually access what she has studied rather than freezing up and not being able to handle it, okay? Now, if she doesn't make that second test, will she pass it the third time? And the answer is yes. But let's not make her go through it a third time. Just tell her what I told you. And if she does those things, my guides are saying she will be able to pass the second time.
Okay, she's right now taking tutoring to kind of improve her knowledge. So will this tutoring be helpful for her?
Yes, it is. Absolutely. That was a very wise decision on her part. It absolutely will. Okay. And I know this is mean, but she shouldn't be involved with the boyfriend because he's not as evenly tempered as he needs to be. And she cannot afford to be thrown off her game before this test.
Yeah, she's actually married, so I would consider her husband.
Right. Well, here's what I'm seeing is the boyfriend. Okay.
Okay.
She needs to let him know that if he wants his wife to be a pharmacist and bring in all that good money, he needs to get himself involved in television or go read a book.
Okay. Okay. Don't stay on her way. Okay.
Yeah. Even temper. Period. No disruptions in the household. Okay. Because she's so sensitive to everybody. She's a people pleaser, and she's over her game very easy. Okay. I need to move on to the next person.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Cindy, so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And Lisa, who is next?
Okay, our next person tonight is going to be Angela. Angela.
Hey there, Angela.
Hello.
Hi.
How are y'all? I'm Angela. I'm an Aquarius, and I'm just grateful for everything in my life. Even the so-called bad things, because there's always something good that comes out of it. So
I love that. You're a wise lady. I'm serious. You're a wise lady. I was just talking today to a couple of people who have sustained really debilitating injuries early in life, like in their 20s. And here they are now, they're in their 50s and 60s. And the two of them were looking back at these debilitating injuries that changed their lives entirely and said, at the time I thought I was going to die. I thought life was over. I lost everything and blah, 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 blah. And both of them were left with severe disabilities. And here they are 40 years later, and they're saying, I'm glad that happened because I would not have had the life experiences. I wouldn't be who I am right now. I wouldn't have the outlook on life. I wouldn't have done so many things in the way that I did them if I didn't experience what I experienced in the beginning of life. So it's interesting to have you come online and reiterate those comments that I heard earlier. That's why I'm repeating this back to you folks, because when I hear, my guides have an interesting way, when I hear something coming from multiple sources at the same time, I know it's important, not just for you, but for somebody else on the call tonight. It's important. Somebody here is going through some really major life issue or life change, and they're really feeling badly about it. And so your comment, you come on, you say this, and they say, well, something good is going to come out of this. Maybe I have to change my perspective. So thank you. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
And let's look at Aquarius. You're calling from where? You didn't tell me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like the Brandon, Tampa, Florida area.
Oh boy, you're near me.
Yes.
Yay. And you're getting this really super hot summer along with me.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, I'm still glad. Right, I'm still glad I'm in Florida. I like that. I like that hot weather too. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on for all of the fixed signs, because Aquarius is a fixed sign. So the fixed signs are Aquarius and Leo and Scorpio and Taurus. So what I'm going to say right now is going to apply to all of you folks who are sun signs of the fixed signs, and also if your sun or your moon is in a, not sun, ascendant or moon is in a fixed sign, this will apply as well. Um, you'll see Aquarius, just like it's still focused on the 12th house here. Most of Aquarius, the first 20 degrees is in that 12th house. So guess what? You are doing, the fixed signs are also doing that internal introspection, just like the cardinal signs are. And maybe looking, your fixed signs do not like change. And yet at this time in your life, you're probably looking at things and saying, so there are some things here that really need to change. And maybe the thing that needs to change first is me. Okay. And I think that a lot of you are saying that. Now, the last 10 degrees is in the first house. So yes, Aquarius and Taurus and Leo and Scorpio, you are definitely looking at, what do I have to change about me and my world and my life? Because you're aware that those changes, if you're going to implement them, have to start with you. And although you're generally looking out at other people and trying to fix or control or organize or in some way hold everybody's world together, right? Right? Saying, I need,
No.
yeah, I need to shift my own world first, and they're just going to have to either come along for the ride or say goodbye. This is pretty serious stuff, you fixed sign people. Okay. Now, look at the whole pattern of what's happening. Um, we have Pluto in Aquarius. That's transformation. It's just entered, even though it's retrograde, it's still shaking that tree of the Aquarian sign. It's saying, I'm going to transform every single part, every single hair in your head within the next 19 years. That's how long Pluto's going to be in this sign. It's retrograding right now back towards Capricorn, giving last licks to those cardinal signs. But if you remember how things were going in your lives, you fixed sign people, from January through about April 15th, that's your future. So don't forget it. Write it down. Make a diary out of it. That time period was very important for you. Now, we have Aquarius on one side. We have Taurus down here making a hard aspect to it. And we have Leo on the other side of the chart making an opposition to it. So again, we have a fixed T-square in this chart. This is tonight's horary chart. And that T-square is exiting into the 9th house. So how many of you fixed sign people are thinking about travel or higher education or working with and reaching out to people that you maybe haven't seen for a very, very long time? How many of you are changing your ideology, your philosophy of life, your belief systems right now? Things that have been very deeply rooted in you that now, again, that change of perspective, you're looking at from a different point of view. When I say this is big stuff, this is big stuff. And you guys, you fixed signs are also your educators, not necessarily in the way of being a teacher in a classroom, but in the way of sharing your experience with others. So when you came on and you said, I'm grateful for the life experience I've had. And in those words, you already reached out and you helped a lot of people. That's the way fixed sign people help other people. It's by sharing their experience, by sharing their knowledge, by sharing their ability to understand, to have insight, to actually build something or create something. So what is your specific question?
Honestly, I just, whatever it is that my guides are wanting me to know.
Well, I think you've been getting it big time. They realize how, I'm going to have to ask you this. It's not good to ask a woman her age, but I'm going to ask anyway.
49.
Okay. So you're right at that period where you're too young for retirement, but you're also looking at the work situation, the job situation. You're saying, this needs to change. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm ready for something new. Well, you're supposed to be a teacher. Are you aware of that?
I have felt that, so I've started kind of creating a business geared towards that for realtors
Yes. Well, there's your
that
message
I've
for
been
you
working
guys.
on
You're
for a
on
year
track.
now behind the scenes.
Yeah, you're right on track. And you have a gift of communication. You're aware of that. You you're extremely good with explaining things having to do with money and finance and physical stuff. A lot of people aren't. You can take the complex and simplify it. That's one of the key marks of a good teacher, to be able to take something that can be complex and make it something which is understandable to someone who's a beginner. Now, you might also have at some point in your life been called to the health field because you also have a lot of healing ability. And you might be torn between the two things, to be doing something which is going to heal and help people versus do something which involves teaching. And, as far as the realty is concerned, you could sell anybody anything, you know? So you could have gone into realty, you could have gone into, selling for a car company. Selling is its own art form, and you are good at that, you see? So the key here, though, is how to take your love of healing and your innate, inborn ability and desire to teach and to create, as you say, your own business to be able to make it all work. And by the way, in this chart, it also talks about Taurus is the sign of the small business person. And all of you who are Aquarians, Scorpios, Taurians, or Leos may be considering developing your own small business or your own side business, because all of you are looking to get out of that um, situation where you're feeling controlled by the corporate mentality, if you're in a corporate situation, or controlled by the bigger company that's pushing you into doing things in a way that you know isn't going to work. So it's kind of like, okay, well, I can keep pushing the cart down the same aisle if that's what they want. I can do that and get paid for it, but I know that it's going to be the same aisle for the next 50 years because it doesn't work, you see? So all of you fixed sign people know what will work, and inside you're being pushed into stepping out and making the step forward to do your own thing, to be able to create something that's functional, that works, that sets you free, and also sets you free financially. What's your specific question?
That was mainly it. So I'm assuming with that, then I should still, to all that comes together, continue to work as a realtor while I build that. And, my plans were to eventually do energy work down the road.
Yeah,
Right now,
there
I
it is.
just practice.
Yes. And you can make it all work together. My guys are saying, yes, you're smart. Building a bridge, and you're at the right time to build the business that you're going to step into while you still have the income from the other business. So build the next business. And the only thing that the card I picked for you is a 3 of Pentacles. It tells me that the only difficulty that you're really going to have is that you don't, maybe you do, but you probably don't realize that you're not just a cog in the wheel of the present company you're working for. You're an intrinsic part of it. You may not be being paid as a partner in the firm, but you're doing work, you see? And
Mm-hmm.
everybody, what can I say? It's typical for people with fixed signs. Everybody there depends on you and your work. And so when it comes time for you to leave and to move away, you're going to have all these grasping hands trying to pull you back. Now, just take that as a forewarning. It's ego gratifying, but you're going to have to make that a clean break in order to be free and really make your thing work for you. You don't need to do that yet, but at some point you will.
Okay.
Okay? Build the bridge and then create the life that you want and know that it's time to say goodbye. Okay,
Okay, great. Thank you.
you're welcome. And Lisa, who's next?
All righty, our lucky number 3 tonight is Leanne. Leanne, can you unmute?
Hi,
Hey there, Leanne.
how are you?
I'm good. And how are you this lovely evening?
I'm good, thanks.
So where are you calling from, Leanne?
From Montreal, Canada.
Oh my God, I love Montreal. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Um,
Mm.
that was one of the first places my folks took me to when I was this little tot, and it's always been near and dear to my heart. Beautiful city.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it's just a special place.
Mm.
Now, you're what sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
Okay, so I did talk a lot about the Scorpios already, the fixed signs. But what's interesting is that if you're a Scorpio, folks, if you're a Scorpio, you are not just dealing with the T square, you're dealing with a grand cross. And that does make the energy at work a little bit differently. If you're a, if you're a typical Scorpio right now dealing with this energy, you're feeling a little bit explosive right now. You're feeling like you're in a trap. And it's not just a trap that's happened today or yesterday, it's a trap that's been going on for a while. And you're looking at, I put my energy here and I seem to move like I can go smoothly, and this goes forward for a while, and then all of a sudden I have a roadblock. Now, if you keep hitting your head against that roadblock, it can get really, really unhappy. So you back off and then you put your energy into this other thing. And you go on for a while with that, and then bam, there's a roadblock there. So you have to release and come back, and then you try that other position or that other road, and again, it gets roadblocked. Then you try the last road, it gets roadblocked. So what do? You go back to the first one again. Are you beginning to see how the energy works? You're dealing with a very explosive energy here, because
Yes.
anything that you put your energy into right now, you're going to be roadblocked. So there is a way of dealing with this that can relieve the pressure, and that's to, those old games they used to have with the horses that came out of the starting gates, and you'd push one, and when it stopped, you'd push the other, and when it stopped, you'd push the other, and when it stopped, you'd go to the other. Now, if you can have, 3 or 4 or 5 or even a dozen irons in the fire, that's fine. But you need to be aware that when you give one a shove, when it comes to a stop, you have to withdraw your energy from it. And you've got to put the energy into something else. Because if you keep putting your energy into that one place, you will create the explosion. Am I
Mm.
making sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. And sometimes it's hard, because sometimes it's at that moment when you're having the roadblock that you get the most angry, because things were going smoothly. What do you mean you're telling me I can't go that way? So that's when you get really angry. But something interesting happens when you pull the energy away and you get involved with something else. This thing that you were pushing on is now left hanging. It says, hey, where'd she go? Wow, where'd she go? There's nothing to react to. Okay, I guess I have to relax and move forward. So a lot of times it is by withdrawing your energy from something that you actually push it forward.
Mm.
That's a principle of Tai Chi Chuan and push hands. It works, okay? It's the only way, with a lot of the things in your life right now, it's the only way that you're going to be able to get through this time without losing your sanity, okay? Now, I don't know how long that's going to last. We can ask that question. The chart's not showing me how long. It's telling me that's where you're at right now. And
Okay.
the sun moves quickly, so that would take us right through August. Moon moves even faster, but I'll show you what I'm looking at. Pluto's going to be here for quite some time. You're not going to get rid of that anytime soon. Uranus moves slowly, same thing. Moon will be out of here fast, but the place that the energy can eventually be put, like maybe by the end of August, will be into the 6th house, which would be your daily life, your work, your home, your house, projects at home, projects at work, also health matters. So the thing that's going to open up first is going to be those things.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what's your specific question?
Well, my specific question may relate to what we were talking about, but it's basically I'm wondering if I'm on the right path to live my life purpose.
Yes, you are. You definitely are. And I think sometimes you have, this is going to sound personal. If I'm too personal, then tell me to shut up, okay? But I think
Nothing's too
sometimes
personal. That's okay.
yeah, but sometimes you have questions about it because, um, we live in a world that has us going through in partnerships or in families and groups, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's wonderful. We enjoy all that, that camaraderie. But your life purpose for you, at least at this time in your life, is very singular. It's independent. It's individualistic. And I think a lot of times you have second thoughts about it because you don't want to, you don't want to trash the people you love. You don't want to throw them on the back burner. You want to be there for them. And yet you know that if you're going to be able to achieve your purpose, you have to be selfish about it. Sorry
Hmm.
about that, but I told you I was going to be blunt. And
I like blunt.
well, if you're a Scorpio, of course you do. The thing is that if you here's the difficulty. If you really do what you need to do to achieve what you want to achieve, there are going to be a lot of people in your life that are going to see you as selfish. And maybe there will be a couple of people who will turn their back on you. Hopefully, they will one day understand that you couldn't have achieved or done the things you did unless you did approach it the way that you approached it. But the answer to your question is you can do what you want to do, and it can be very lucrative, and you can be very successful, but you're going to have to do it your way on your time schedule. And some people are going to be mad at you.
Hmm. People are mad at me anyway, so might as well go and make myself happy, right?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard because there's that part of you that's the people pleaser and to get what you want, you can't be the people pleaser.
Hmm. And
Maybe that's why you were born a Scorpio. Scorpios aren't supposed to be people pleasers, you know?
but boy, was I raised to try and be one.
Yeah, I know. I know. But if you and part of you will always say, what I want is what they all want. Part of you will always say that. But you're not going to achieve what you want if you stay on that path. And I know I haven't told you anything you don't already know.
Hmm. But maybe
Yeah.
the confirmation was needed, so thank you.
Yes, I think that's exactly why it came out that way. It was just confirmation about what you already know. And
Hmm.
periodically, you're probably going to have to encounter in the world around you a little more of that confirmation because you are choosing a lonely path because a lot of people aren't going to see life the way you see life.
Hmm. That's okay.
Yeah. Well, good. Thank you so much. I think
Thank you.
those insights probably helped somebody else on this call a lot. So
I
thank
hope so.
you for being candid. Okay.
Thank you
And
for your honesty and your straightforwardness. I appreciate it.
you're welcome. You're
Hmm.
welcome. All the best to you.
Thank you. You too.
And, Lisa, we've got time for another person. We've got time for one more. So who's my last victim of the evening?
Okay, the last person tonight then will be Francis. Francis, can you unmute?
Hey,
Hi.
Francis.
Hello.
Hi there. Where are you calling from?
I'm from the Chicago area.
Oh, wow. Way up in the Windy City.
Yeah,
Beautiful time of year up there to go to be there. So good
it
for you.
is. Yeah. Thank you.
And what's your sun sign?
I am an Aquarius also.
Okay, so we've been talking about the fixed signs now for quite a while, so I don't think I need to go into that much any deeper than I have.
Okay.
But what is your specific question?
I guess just if there's any advice for what I can do moving forward, I kind of have like I guess like a side hustle going on, and if you see any suggestions or advice with that.
Well, you already know. Don't you love it?
I know, right? I know it was.
Yeah, and you know. You just, I'm going to be blunt again. You just would like to hear me tell you something that's different than what you know. Okay. Okay.
I guess I'm just wondering if there's a little nugget out there that I haven't thought of already. Yeah.
Yeah. What I can tell you, I'm going to look at the chart right now.
Okay.
This Pluto in Aquarius, it's retrograding right now. And there's opposing the chart. There's what you're doing in your side hustle, which is in Leo, and this is your day-to-day life. So you've got a lot of irons in the fire right now. You're spread pretty thin. Pluto's going to stay retrograde until October 11th, and that's when it goes direct. So the likelihood is that while it's retrograde, you're going to have a feeling of um, being like, how can I put it, being able to move forward with a lot of the things you're doing with your side hustle, that your intuition is saying that as I move into the future, this probably isn't going to be such a good thing. I'm going to have to make changes. So right
Mm.
now, it's like the things that you know you're going to have to change right now is when you really need to beef up and do that, or to eliminate those things. This is your chance to take care of that. Once we get
Okay.
past October 11th, Pluto's going to go direct, and around it'll be back in Capricorn when it goes direct. And it's going to very shortly, around Thanksgiving, be back in Aquarius, and it'll be opposing this point right now. The sun won't be there anymore, but the point will be, because it's created here now. So this is going to say that there's going to be something around you at that time between Thanksgiving and Christmas that's going to come crashing in on you and be a major roadblock that's going to control what you're doing right now.
Uh,
Okay, it's
mhm.
almost like there's not enough of you to go around. Now
Mm.
that could be somebody's health problem. It could be somebody that you're working with who says, I can't work with you anymore. The thing is, it's going to feel like it's a control issue that's coming from outside of your ability to handle it. Okay, so it's
Okay.
really important that you get things set up as much on automatic as you can, so that when that happens, you're not stuck in the position of having to divide your attention, divide your time, and put out fires that you didn't create. Am I making sense to you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So it looks like it's a good thing to be involved with. It's going to take a while to build it. You're going to
Okay.
have to get through that period where you're going to feel like there's too much. How
Mm-hmm.
can I do my present job? How can I take care of a household? How can I do this at the same time? Oh my goodness, why did I do this? You see, it's going to be one of those things. But if you're
Yeah.
preemptive and you take care of everything first, that won't happen.
Okay.
Okay. Um, what you've been, somebody around you, I'm showing you the cards I picked. This is a 4 of Cups. It's upside down. Somebody around you has been telling you, oh, that's a bad idea. I don't know why you want to get involved with that. So you've got a negative Nelly around you. Okay.
Mm.
And I get the feeling it's somebody you live with. Now, that person right now is just a negative Nelly. Between Thanksgiving and Christmas, they're going to become a real obstacle if you don't take care of the situation now.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and I have a feeling it's almost a jealousy thing. Like you're not giving enough. That extra time you have is no longer going to them. It's going into the side hustle. You follow?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So that's got to be addressed. I'm getting
Okay.
the Ace of Cups, and that's nice. That says you're going to really enjoy what you're doing when you're doing it. So you're saying, this is a good thing. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
also picked the Hermit upside down and the Queen of Pentacles upside down. Together, they say that you have tried other things in the past, side hustles, side ways of bringing in money, and they didn't work. And because of that, you have this insecurity that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to fail. And when you put that together with the negative Nelly, that will make you feel, oh, pardon me, it will make you fail unless you really set it up in a way where you can do it as a joy, where it's
Mm-hmm.
not taking the energy away from the stuff at home and the stuff in your work, so that you can actually continue to do this thing that brings you joy. And it does. It's not just a side hustle for money, it's a side hustle for yourself, you see?
Yeah.
Okay. So set it up where where you can do it and it's not going to be uh, something which is an interference with what all these other people bother you with, because if you do, they're going to undermine you, and it's not. So I don't think your stuff fails because you're not good with it or because it's not a good idea. I think it fails because you don't get support, you get undermining. So
Yeah.
know that, and set it up so that it doesn't matter if you're undermined, it's going to work anyway.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
And I know you can do that. Can I ask you, if it's not too private, what is the side hustle?
Oh, I do sound healing with singing bowls and things like that.
Okay, nice. And what's your regular work?
Well, my regular work, I'm I don't know even what you call me, a full-time mom, uh, stay-at-home mom. Just I have been home a lot. I haven't worked out of the home, but what I'm doing lately is just really working on kind of overcoming all the things in my life that haven't been working well for me. Like I'm finally at a point where I'm like taking control of the things that just like I can't take it anymore, and trying to get my life in order as far as like decluttering and just things like that where that just
Very good.
I it's not working anymore. So I'm slowly, getting into better habits and things like that, and I feel really good. I just
Now,
it's a process.
now let me ask you, well, let me actually tell you this and give you some ideas. Um, in the healing, and I'm going to talk about new age kind of healing concept, something like sound healing is very new and it's very holistic,
Mhm.
and it's going to be hard to attract clients and build up a business. Not saying impossible, but hard.
Mhm.
um, because people will say, "Oh, isn't that wonderful? That's something I want to explore. Is it free?" They're not going to want to pay you.
Yes.
Oh, that was
Yes.
so wonderful. Can you do it again next Tuesday for free? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't understand why this is, but somebody will pay a doctor thousands of dollars to fix their nose or their ears. But when it comes to somebody who's doing psychic healing on them, and sound healing is falling into that realm of psychic healing, they think,
Mhm.
oh, God's gift, that should be free. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's difficult to get people converted over to recognize that no, this is actually a profession. So
Yeah.
I'm going to suggest, and you're probably going to hate me for this because you're not somebody who loves school, but I'm going to suggest that if you want to stay in the holistic healing aspect, that you either tie it into something like tarot reading that I was advertising earlier, where you can actually put ads in the paper and people will pay for tarot readings, whereas they won't pay for sound healing. It's just
Mhm.
weird. People are strange that way. So you could tie it into something like that. Or if you're willing to go actually back to school, you could do something like study for massage therapy,
Mhm.
or maybe I'm not so familiar with it. Maybe a nurse, nurse's aide or something like that. Study something which is in the healing field, and then bring your sound healing in as an addendum to it. Okay,
Okay.
so it might be a good idea to research different healing professions that are available right now. And that could be anything from studying nutrition to herbalism. I mean, the medical field is big, but people will pay to go to somebody who is, certified as a dental assistant who does sound healing while she does her dentistry. They'll pay for that because
Yeah.
society says that's reputable, but sound healing isn't known yet. There will
Yeah.
be a future for it, though. I can tell you the future, and this is, I think, where your own psychic ability is really tuning in, and it is good. This is why you should stay involved. Um, all healing in the future, all of it, is going to have to do with vibration, and vibration is sound.
Mhm.
Your intuition is leading you to the leading edge of the new medicine that the future new age is going to bring in.
Yeah.
But expand your perspective and see how you can tie it into something that's more mainstream now, and hopefully
Yeah.
that won't keep you in school for 10 years. Okay.
Yeah. Right now, so I do have a couple certifications that I've done online training, and I do have one. a crystal shop that I go to once a month, and I do it. And I did negotiate a higher rate because I travel a little over an hour for that. So I
Mm-hmm.
love it. It's extremely well received, and I've had I think 13 people the first time, where only one person there knew me. The rest I hadn't met before. And then the last time I think it was 11 people. And I did, like I said, I negotiated a little bit more. And I have just booked a date for August. And I love it. I love everything about it. I just, I need to contact this places local to me so I don't have to go as far. And
And hold it,
that's where I,
you're also neglecting something else. Um, the people that you work with in the place that's the hour and a half away where you're getting so well received, um, go to Zoom. Okay, it's free, it's easy to use to learn, and do your sound healing. Introduce it to them in person, and then give out your business card that lets them know that you also can work on Zoom with them in private sessions.
that's true. Yes. Yeah, and the
Okay,
shop owner even said that I should get a website and charge, a certain amount for people just to download a sound healing for a certain amount, and that would be a really easy way to make some money, or attract clients. So,
and remember what I said, something is coming up towards the end of the year that's going to create more pressure on you. So all
okay.
these things that are being suggested right now, you got to get on them right now.
Yeah,
Because if you have these avenues created right now, and the universe is helping, it's creating all this opportunity for you, and take these suggestions to heart and act on them. Don't feel that you have to have a website before you can do Zoom and have clients come to Zoom. Um, if you have a PayPal, go into PayPal. PayPal has now got something where you can actually bill somebody and advertise it and everything else directly through PayPal. Go and investigate it.
oh, I will. Thank you.
Yeah, don't let these big things that you think you have to do first hold you back. Address each little thing, and the door will open right now. Don't
Okay.
wait. If you wait until after Thanksgiving, it's going to get a lot harder.
Okay. Yeah, so have all my ducks in a row, like for
Yes,
everything in my life. Yeah,
exactly. And even if they're
yeah.
not done by then, you have to have, remember these little start stops I was talking about? Get it
Mm-hmm.
all started, and then it'll work for you. Um, and I guess I'm out of time. Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. And folks, let me remind you, if you, I think my guides did a pretty good job connecting with most everybody here. We didn't talk about the mutable signs. And the only thing I want to add is that before you guys get off, we do have Saturn in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces. That's one mutable sign. We have Mercury in Virgo, a second mutable sign. We have not Moon, Mars and Jupiter in Gemini, the third mutable sign. So if you're a Gemini, a Virgo, a Pisces, or a Sagittarius, which is where all this energy is being pushed out into the 10th house, you should be really focusing on your own career right now, on your life goals, on your life purpose, because that's where the energy is pushing the mutable people right now. That's where you need to be focusing your energy. Personal shifts of who you are, changes in how you're handling your finances. You might be feeling like you have to change your orientation about how you perceive your finances. You might have to change how you relate to your particular partner or marriage partner financially. But guess what? All of these things are going to help you to move forward, to discover that life purpose, and to get yourself back on track. Folks, if you stayed now to the end of the hour, don't forget, you're welcome to send me your simple question with your name, where you're calling from or where you're from, what your sun sign is. I need to know that. And then your question. And I will be glad to answer that question. Please give me at least a week, maybe 2 weeks on the outside to get to it, because I do get a lot of questions. And you can send them either to the address on this website at GoToMeeting or to lisasainc@aol.com. Thank you all so very much. It was good to speak with you again. I'll see you next month on August 25th. Good night, everyone.